Hello, my name is Elmira and I'm the founder of Enjoy Online English School. We teach English, Japanese and Chinese online, so you can join us all over the globe. Today we're shooting an interview of two people, English speakers, Ildar and Robin, in order to understand why did they choose to come to this place where it's more than 200 days of sun, to the place called sunny Tashkent. So we're going to ask them these questions like, how much does it cost to live here? What do they do? And what do they do for a living? What are pros and cons of living in Tashkent? And how long will they stay here? Please click like and follow this channel for more information. So, this is our first guest, Ildar. We're going to ask him, how did you get here?
So, Elia, I'm originally from Azerbaijan and I used to live in Baku. I'm living in Tashkent for 3 weeks. My company from Azerbaijan has started a new project in Uzbekistan.
Why?
And because we won Asian Development Bank project in Uzbekistan. So as a team from Azerbaijan, we moved here to work in this project. So it's already 3 weeks that I am living in Tashkent.
Have you noticed any problems with adaptation here?
Yes, sure, because you know, most of the people here don't know English.
Oh my.
And it's so hard for me. I know in Azerbaijan I study English in university, so I don't know Russian. I can't speak with people in Russian, and it's hard to adapt, hard to how can I say, share my experience with them, hard to learn from them, hard to adapt their culture, because even most of the people don't know English and they are always trying to speak in Russian, not in English. They forced me to learn Russian.
Yeah, not Uzbek.
Yes, not Uzbek even.
Okay, got it. What minuses except learning, like, except that people don't speak English? What are other minuses here?
It's the main problem. I mean, the people don't know the English because it makes communication very hard. And even, for example, when I lost in the street, if I try to ask someone how I can get somewhere, I mean, they try to explain something and you get more lost after speaking with them. And it makes difficulty in shopping, in transportation, I mean taxi. I mean, for example, in Tashkent, I have never used any public transport.
Oh my.
Because I can't talk with, I mean, the bus driver or someone in metro or subway that how can I use this. I only use taxi because taxi drivers don't speak at all. It's all just you can order from the application and it came and took you.
Why expats choose Tashkent in your opinion? Except those problems that you have.
Let me tell you, Uzbekistan is a Central Asian country which is eager to make development, make changes. So a lot of foreign direct investments came from world to Uzbekistan, and it makes Uzbekistan more, how can I say, more interesting for them. I mean, they came here for work, for starting new career or making change in their life. For example, we as a company, as a team, came here for work because it's foreign direct investment from the Asian Development Bank, and it creates more opportunities for people.
So you think here are lots of opportunities, right?
Yes, a lot of opportunities for expats, and how can I say, Uzbekistan need qualified persons from the world. So it attracts people, especially qualified persons all over the world.
Nice to meet you, first of all. Can you
to meet
please
too.
introduce yourself for our viewers?
I'm Robin. I'm born in Zimbabwe, or what was then Rhodesia. I was there until politically things got bad. Well, there was a war. My mum's from Denmark, my dad's from England. We traveled around a little bit, Namibia, Cyprus. We eventually ended up in my dad's hometown, which is Newcastle, northeast England.
Okay, that's a wonderful life. Like, how did you
Only
end
started
up?
just
Yes. How did you end up being here in Tashkent?
I've experienced this part of the world a little bit before. I lived in Baku in Azerbaijan, and I lived in Tashkent, not so far away from here. My children I'm divorced, but my children are in Russia now. There's obviously some political sensitive issues about this now. And the COVID as well has made it difficult for me to see my children. Before here I was in Africa, which is a very different place to here. So as I mentioned to you, I want to learn Russian. My daughter speaks English very well. She went to English schools in Jordan and Korea, and Brunei, near Malaysia. So one of my goals is to learn Russian so I can communicate with my children. In Russia, there's no massive focus on teaching English these days. So I figure that I can be closer to my children, although Kamchatka, where they are, is not that close. But I think I need to learn Russian. A, because I can speak some other language in my job at the moment. I teach English and French. I can speak Korean. So, yeah, just trying to expand my
Knowledge.
scope for knowledge.
Yeah.
And I enjoy teaching, and every country that I've been in has been a totally different experience. Usually, some countries are great for some things, but there's always maybe something that's bad.
Yeah.
So far in Uzbekistan, apart from it being a little bit colder than I'm used to, I haven't come across anything. It's a very surprising city. Not what I expected at all. I was expecting dust and
Desert.
desert, yeah, but it's still green and
Yeah.
it's much bigger and wider than I expected. But yeah, that's sort of how I got here.
Have you noticed any pluses, any cons and pros of Tashkent? Or you can't really say?
And then I can. One bonus is, compared with England, taxis are very cheap, and it's a big city, so this is useful for moving around. And I'm enjoying the food. I'm a big fan of plov.
Okay, got it. And as for the other prices, maybe as we've talked about it just now, maybe we'll touch it. Is it cheaper to live here, or?
It's much cheaper. Before I lived in Vietnam, I would say Vietnam is about the same. Cigarettes, alcohol, food. It's compared with England, especially London. Yeah. No, I took a taxi here. It maybe takes 10 minutes. If I took the same taxi ride in London, it's going to cost 10 times more money.
Oh my!
Yeah.
It's really harsh. I got it. Okay. And as for other cons, like you've mentioned food, cheap prices. What else? Have you noticed maybe people inspire
yeah,
you
it's been
or
a
no?
little bit unfortunate here because the weather is quite often very nice here. It's that kind of dry cold. But every time it's a weekend, it's raining. So I wanted to go hiking in the mountains, and maybe a couple of weeks I'd like to go skiing. The things that you would, I like photography. So I look forward to being able to experience Uzbek mountains. And,
Yeah, I've been to the trip recently, so
Yeah.
like myself, it was incredible. You know, I felt like I'm cleaning my soul.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, I look forward to it. As I say, I'm coming from Africa, where it's 35 degrees every day. so getting used to the cold is been
Yeah.
a little difficult.
And actually, as I know, you have in winter you have summer, and in summer you have winter, as I know. Like I've been to South Africa.
Yeah,
and
so we're below the equator, so the seasons are reversed. So the hottest period is around Christmas. So, yeah, but yeah, it was a very interesting experience. Yeah, I'd like to go back, and I thought, but circumstances didn't really work out. The school that I worked for had a change of management, and it was very Christian, whereas, which was strange because most of the students were Muslim. So you have like people trying to convert Christians, trying to convert Muslims to Christians, which I didn't really care for.
how would you describe typical Uzbek person?
So let me explain you like that. I think that Uzbek people are very pure and attached to their culture. I can tell you some story which I faced in Uzbekistan. You know that their currency is very, how can I say, undervalued comparing with the US dollar, and their nomination has a lot of zeros. So it's hard for expats, and it's very hard for me to count their money. So when I had to pay in taxi or in shopping, I always make a mistake. But I haven't seen anyone trying to cheat me. I mean, when I make mistake, they are trying to correct me. I mean, I love it very much. I mean, they are always pure and, how can I say, correct. They don't try to cheat person.
Okay, got it. Do you have your favorite places here?
Yes, of course. For example, Timur Square.
Oh, yeah.
I love this place very, very much because the sculpture of the Timur is very insane. I mean, the nature here, trees, some of them are green, some of them are already have yellow leaves. And I love Magic City very much. Of course, it's for children, but it makes me feel my children inside of me. I mean, it was my kid side. I mean, you can see a lot of things there. I mean, and you can find a lot of good shopping places and good restaurants in the Magic City. I mean, if the tourists came to Tashkent, they have to go to the Magic City.
How would you describe typical Uzbek person?
One thing I'm sort of slightly surprised about Uzbek, it's more multicultural than I expected. You know, I can see people that are obviously from the sort of Asian dark hair, and I can see a lot of Russian. Surprising amount of different features in people, and you know, I'm still finding it quite difficult to distinguish whether I'm speaking Russian or Uzbek, especially with taxi drivers. But yeah, it's not what I expected when I came here. I was expecting, and I have spent some time in Central Asia before, but yeah, I was expecting more deserty kind of place, but it's much more cosmopolitan than I first had been led to believe, and much bigger. Because I think if you were to ask every English person, or maybe even European person, they have no preconception of what Tashkent is. In fact, I'm sure that most Europeans don't even know of Tashkent's existence. So
it's a pity. Yeah. It's such a pity, right?
I mean, it is, but it makes it kind of mysterious. You know, like I'm talking to my friends. I've just been in Africa. I've been in Asia and Vietnam, and when I speak to people, and they're like, "Where are you now?" And I've been a lot of places, Brunei, Malaysia, Jordan, Korea, Japan, Canada, for working. And when they say I'm in Uzbekistan, they're just like, "Where is that?"
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and since I've been here and coming from Africa, it's quite cold, and every time it's the weekend,
It's
I'm
rainy.
cold. It's
Yeah.
raining. And that was one thing I wasn't expecting, was rain, because I expect this place to be very dry.
Yeah, and
Right.
sunny. It's more than
Sunny.
200 days of sun.
Yeah, no, I imagine. But from my first experience, I met a lot of friends very quickly. I've met a lot of Russians here, which is interesting because they kind of fled from their home country to avoid various things. I don't want to say too much about this because it's not really my business. But yeah, it's really interesting. I must admit, there's a few things I'm looking to do: hiking and skiing. And I have to admit, I'm quite looking forward to spring.
Oh yeah, indeed.
It's
but
cold.
as for the favorite places here, so might be you have found something, or
Yeah,
you would like to visit.
I'm a big fan of football, so there's a few Irish pubs here that I like to watch football in. I'm not a big fan of cooking, so I've enjoyed some very nice restaurants. I especially like this bar, Steam. It has great live music.
Which person you think this city, this Tashkent city, suits the most?
Let me explain my opinion in that way. The Tashkent city is very quiet city. I mean, after 10 or 11 o'clock, the city is not so joyful, and it suits more introvert people who can walk around the city with quiet places, and the person can try to find himself or herself with thinking a lot about his or her future, past memories, and I mean, it gives person a chance to discover herself or himself in a better way. I mean, for example, I am more the introvert person. When I walk around the city, I am trying to think about my future, my plans, my past memories, and I'm trying to find my myself, my peace inside of me. So I think it suits the people in that way.
I think for somebody to come here, they would need, this is a preconception, I think they need to be a well-traveled person. I know European people tend to stay in Western Europe. For example, English people have a tendency to go on holiday in Spain or usual destination. Turkey has become kind of popular because it's cheaper, and I know they were easier with COVID.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah, and which was nice. And COVID has really been a pain in my ass. My children are in
Stuck.
Russia, so I haven't been able to go there. And various other reasons to do with Ukraine. It's made it very difficult. But yeah, it would be very unlikely for people to come to Central Asia. But I think that's going to change. I can see walking around Uzbekistan that there's a lot of developments, there's cranes and buildings and
Lots of skyscrapers,
yeah,
right?
yeah, which really wasn't what I was expecting.
What do you think you can recommend to Uzbek people? Maybe to change something or to do something?
Yes, I have some recommendations for them. I mean, I love them attached to their culture, but now the world is getting more, how I can tell you, I mean, it's now development time in all over the world. So they can develop their English, increase their English skills. For example, I heard that you have English skills,
Yes.
and your English is very good, so I
Thank
can
you.
recommend them to attend in your English classes, and I'm sure that you can teach them English very well.
Yeah, we can.
so-
We have 9 teachers, so that's for
Yes,
sure.
I know, but I'm sure that they are also good as much as you, and I can recommend to Uzbek people to learn English more and to communicate with expats, with tourists more, and
Like freely, you know?
Yes, freely, because how can I say, learning by sharing. I can say in that way. I mean, they can share their experience with tourists, or tourists their experience with them, and it will be beneficial for both of them.
How long are you willing to stay here?
Well, willing is it depends how it goes. So far, everything is very nice. I'm surprised by Tashkent city. It's not what I expected at all. I expect desert, but you know, it's very big, large, comfortable city. So yeah, I've taught before in Kazakhstan and Azerbaijan, so it's not so different.
For how long are you going to stay? Like,
I have a 2-year contract.
I see. And after that, are you planning to go somewhere else? Or you're planning to stay?
I am unfamiliar with cold weather, so it's possible I might. I've taught in hot countries, I've taught in cold countries, but we will see.
We'll see how it goes.
My school is very nice, very well equipped, especially in science and robotics and this kind of thing. So yeah, I will see what happens.
Okay,
I
got it.
normally tend to stay 2 years in one country, but yeah, it's so
To
far-
decide.
To decide, there's usually one problem with every country I've worked in. Azerbaijan was a bit too corrupt. Kazakhstan was too cold. Jordan was too hot. So,
And this country, as for now.
yeah, I didn't know anything about Uzbekistan before I came here. So I've only been here for 3 weeks. So
Yeah.
I'm finding my feet. You know, so.
Okay, got it. So, all right.
I need to make some friends, I think.
Yes, that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
great.
No, thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for having us today and for being here. Really, thank you. Well done. What are your plans? Will you stay here in Tashkent, reflect about life, or what are your future plans?
I am planning to live here 2 years because I want to conclude this project with my Azerbaijani team. I mean, with my company. I mean, I want to be part of this project. I want to complete this project successfully with my colleagues. After that, I want to study PhD in Europe. That's why I'm now learning German to maybe study in Austria or Germany. And I think after I turn my 30, I will stop working. I will just travel around the world and read books, play some instruments. I mean, it's my future plan, desire. I don't know how it will be, but I'm planning to do it.
To retire at 30.
Yes, to retire.
This is
at
like
30.
plan FIRE, FIRE.
Yes.
Have you heard of it?
Yes, I
Yeah.
have heard about it.
Great. So you have to save a lot of money in order to retire when you're 30.
Yes, I know. I'm trying to, how can I say, to see business opportunities around the world, and maybe I will find one opportunity which will give me, I mean, how can I say, forever income after my 32.
Yeah.
So I don't need
Passive income.
yeah, passive. I don't need a lot of money. I just want a peace, and I could find the happiness in my life.
Yeah.
I'm not in that world only just for working and to live just monotone life. So I wanted to live different life, which I desire.
Do you feel happy here?
Yes, of course. I mean, I told you I'm more introvert person and like quiet places, places with good nature, and it gives me chance to discover myself again, to find myself.
I see. Thank you
Thank you
for
very
this
much.
interview, really, that you enjoyed it as well as I did, I hope.
Thank you very much. It's the first time I can talk with someone that much. And you know that I can't stop myself.
It was really great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay,
Okay,
let's shake
thank
hands.
you. Okay.
We're continuing our discussion at the huge restaurant, like the biggest one that was created by Soviet Union. So we're here to ask this question. What do you think? I've forgotten the question. We're going to talk about various things, like, for example, why, oh my god, тут полиция. Так, на чем я остановилась?
Don't start filming yet.
Yeah.